So let's make our image round, and because it's visually looks better. And there are two ways of making this to happen. The first one is very easy and straightforward. We have this avatar image view, and what we can do is to apply some corner radius to its layer. So in our view did load, what I can do is say avatar image view dot layer dot corner radius is equals, and in order to make it round, we can access our avatar image view dot frame dot width and divide this by 2. And if I run my application, you will see it makes our avatar image round, but it's not what we are looking for. So it's not this one. We are doing it in our edit table view, edit profile, and you can see now it somehow made it round, but the problem is it's not fully round. And the reason is because this is a landscape image and these top parts are just not there to see them. So imagine how this makes it round if you just take a cylinder and put it on top of our image, and at some corners it will cut and you can see the roundness of the cylinder, but at the place where our image is actually smaller than the diameter of our image, of our cylinder, you are just going to see a white space. So the idea is to take our source image and cut it around and make it nice round image, and not just come and change the image view layer. So I'm going to get rid of this, and we are going to go to our helpers here, and I'm going to create a new file, a Swift file. I'm going to call these extensions. All right, and let's get rid of these things here. And here I'm going to create an extension to UI image. And to do this, we need to import UI kit. Now we have access to our UI image. So this extension, what we are doing is we are extending the functionality of our UI image. And we want to have an extra function that will take this image, measure it, if it's portrait or landscape, and then make a nice round cutout of it. So we are going to like kind of redraw it. So in order to do that, first we need to understand if the image is landscape or portrait. So we say var is portrait. And this is going to return, let's say size, which is our image size dot height is greater than size dot width. That means this is a boolean, by the way, and it returns if this is true or false. And then I'm going to copy this and say is landscape. Landscape. And this is going to return the width is greater than the height. Or you just could change this the vice versa. All right, so we have is portrait or is landscape. And now let's check components must have explicit type. Okay, we need to tell what type it is. So we tell it's a bool. And same for this one. It's a boolean. Right, and now we are going to create a breadth, which is type of CG float. And this is going to return minimum number. We just say mean, and then we pass our size here, size dot width and size dot height. So this will check what is a smaller number, the width or the height of our image view, of our image. And the reason is when we are going to make a round cutout, for our measurements, we need to understand which part is the smallest, so we can use that to make a nice cutout. Then we say var breadth size, and this is going to be a CG size, and this is going to return CG size, and we're going to create a width and height, and the width is going to be our breadth that we have created, and the height is also going to be breadth. So what we are doing is we take just the minimum amount and we are going to make a square, and we just go around on that square and do the cutout. And now we're going to create a rectangle. So we can redraw our new image. It is going to be CG rect, and the redrawing is going to be in that rectangle, and we are going to say return, and we can say CG rect origin and size. Origin is going to be 0 and the size is going to be our breadth size. So here is where we are going to do the redrawing. So let's create a variable, call this circle mask, and this is going to be returning a UI image, and it's an optional, so we may not have this. Now we are going to try and to create this image, so we are going to redraw it. Let's see what's the complaint. Okay, we're not returning anything. Let's say UI graphics begin image graphics begin image context with options. We need image context with options, and our options are the size, which is our breadth size. Opaque, we say false, and the scale, we just say scale here, which is our image, UI image part. And once we have this, we are going to say defer, and I'm going to say UI graphics and image context. UI graphics and let's do this one-liner. So once we finish our drawing, we want to end our image context. And what we want to do here is we're going to create a CG image, so we can do these measurements and redrawing of our image. So I will say guard let CG image is equals, and then we say CG image, and then we want to crop, and we want to crop to a specific size, and the size is CG rect. So let's create one, so CG rect, and we need an origin and size. The origin is going to be CG point, so let's create that one. And this is depending on a landscape, so the X here is going to be, this is what we need. The X is going to be depending on our landscape, so I will say is landscape, and if it is, so we have a short if statement here. Let's say floor, and then we're going to pass a size here. We need to create a double, so I'm going to put another brace here. I will say size dot width minus size dot height, and the whole thing we're going to divide by 2. So this will be in case if it's a landscape, otherwise we're going to set it to 0. And same with the Y, we need a space here, we're going to check if it's a portrait. So I will say is portrait and put a question mark, and then we say floor put another brace here, and we say size dot height minus size dot width, and let's divide this by 2, space here, otherwise we are going to set this to 0, and the size is gonna be our breadth size, and else we just want to say return nil. Let me bring this on the same line. So this is our CG image, and now I am going to create a UI Bezier path, and then let's create an oval and we're going to do this in our rectangle that we have created. So say breadth rect, and we say add clip to this Bezier path, and then we're going to create a UI image from CG image, and this is going to be our CG image that we have created, and then we want to draw it and draw in our rectangle, and finally we want to return whatever we have as a result. So I say UI graphics get image current from current image context. This is what we want to return. Just make a command B in order to get this everything set. And now I'm going to go back to my edit profile, and here where we set our avatar image, let's just put dot, and now we have this option circle masked, and we're going to try this. Rerun the application. Let's go to our settings and let's go to our edit, and you can see we have nicely cropped image instead of this just making around our initial image layer and not the image itself. So let's go to our settings, and here where we set our avatar image, I will do this circle masked again, and let's try this one as well. Now we have a round image here as well, and the same goes here. So we have set our image. We can change this to any other image we want to. See, when I set here, we need to do the rounding there as well. So let's go to our gallery and let's see where we do that. So here is where we choose, and it says avatar image view dot image is equals this, and we just say circle masked. Now we should be ready to go. Let's go here and choose another one. Let's do this one this time, and it's also round, and we have uploaded it, and it replaces everywhere we have. So this is working. In our next lecture, we are going to work on these user statuses.